So the UFC president Dana White recently held a meeting in Italy where he tried to convince the Italian authorities to host the Elon Musk vs Mark Zuckerberg fight in the Coliseum. You see, I wanted this fight to happen and include a delicious undercard, but then I found out about why Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg want to fight in the first place. And then I really wanted this fight to happen with an even more delicious undercard, but then I found out how much this fight would actually make and how it could shape the human society of the future. And then I really wanted this fight to happen, not even caring about the undercard this time, but then I found out that these two were actually once cool with each other, and what happened between them was kinda heartbreaking. And the point being, this fight could be the most watched hand-to-hand combat to ever take place between two human beings since the dawn of time. But why do they even want to fight in the first place when they can just solve their beef in the court by crushing each other's companies? Well, it's kinda obvious really, but first a history lesson of how we went from this to this. It all started in 2016 when Zuckerberg got super pissed at Elon Musk. And I mean super pissed. Because Elon's SpaceX tried to send a rocket to space, a rocket that was also carrying one of Facebook's satellites. And what happened to the rocket? Well, like my dating life, it blew up right before it launched, which meant bye-bye satellite. Zuckerberg got so pissed that he went onto Facebook to say that he was deeply disappointed. And what did that mean? Friendship broken. Fast forward 2 years, Elon replies with, yeah, my fault for being an idiot. We did give them a free launch to make up for it, and I think they had some insurance. He also takes digs at Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. He even deletes the Facebook pages of Tesla and SpaceX. Passive aggression 101. Now Zuckerberg does not have the same level of trolling skills, so he gets even more pissed than before. Or maybe he was just busy stealing all of our data, who knows. Fast forward a couple more years, Elon expresses an interest in being down to fight Zuckerberg, to which Zuckerberg replies in Khabib style, send me location. Ah, yes, the master of originality and innovation. By now we also get to know that all this time while facing Elon's trolls, Zuckerberg hadn't just been sitting in silence. He had been building a rival app to Twitter called Threads, and Threads gained a lot of popularity. And to all of this, Elon replies with, just kidding. To all of this, Elon replies by accusing Meta of cheating and threatening to sue the company for stealing Twitter's trade secrets. And so the chances of the fight happening grew even more. But why a fight? Like, what do they even have to gain from a fight? Well, they're not just fighting just to fuel their egos, not even for money, but there's a different, way more extreme motivation behind all of this that they've kept hidden. But regardless of whoever wins, none of these two are even the biggest losers in this story. Do you know who is the biggest loser in the story? Remember this guy from the intro? The UFC president Dana White? The guy who barely pays his fighters and says dumb stuff like this when there's a sport that pays above minimum wage?
Can't stand soccer. I think that it's the least talented sport on earth. There's a reason 3-year-olds can play soccer, okay? You know, untalented, you have to be to score 3 points when the net is this big.
Well, he jumped onto the bandwagon as soon as he saw any talks of the fight and started talking to the Italian officials for booking the venue, even when no one had really asked him to. Elon ruined Dana's dreams and said that the UFC will not be hosting the fight, but instead his and Mark's foundations would host it. Oh, that's gotta sting. But Elon didn't even mention the real reason why they're fighting in the first place. But here's where people get fooled. Because come on, Elon, who are you kidding? As if no one knows the actual reason why this fight is even happening in the first place. The fight could make over $1 billion, which is much more than the highest selling fight of all time and higher than what me and you will ever make combined, but that's less than 1% of the net worths of these two individuals, and they could literally buy the whole Coliseum on a sunny day without breaking a sweat. So is it their public image that they're fighting for? Because aside from being able to satisfy their egos, the winner of the fight will be able to greatly lift his public image, and the loser would have to face troll comments like this for the next 10 years. But even that's really not the whole story, because public image keeps changing by the second in today's weird and messed up world. So it's not a fight for money, not a fight for public image, but it is a fight for sheep. No, not a what the hell? Not a sheep. Yeah, sheep. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg want sheep. I don't even know how you didn't catch that. I've literally put that throughout the video. But anyways, let me explain why. It's because Twitter is in a bit of a circus right now. This is because of issues with becoming profitable, declining staff morale, facing competitors like Threads and Mastodon. And what does that mean for Zuckerberg and Threads? Yeah, it's not really daisies and sunshine on the other side either. From 49 million just 2 days after launch to 9.6 million by August 1st. Plus, there's the whole issue with the app wanting to know every little dirty secret of yours, so both apps are really hanging off the edge of a cliff here, and only one of them can really survive. And so it's a very reasonable assumption that in a day and age where most human beings have the intelligence of a rock, the result of this fight could decide the future of these apps, at least in the short term. Because people are already so disappointed and just done with both the apps, so the owner of one of them losing to another in a grand fight could just be the final call, the cherry on the top, the green light that most people need to permanently ditch one app for the other. And the winner will take all the investors with him after winning the highest selling fight of all time, just like how a shepherd gets all the sheep in one place. Millions of peanut brain investors would give their money to the winner, not because they believe in the company's business model, but because they think that the stock will go to the moon after the winner gets his hand raised. The smartest investment strategy of all. And the loser would just fall off the cliff into the pits of dead apps. However, no one really knows for sure whether or not this fight will go ahead, since Zuckerberg kinda seems to be chickening out. But if it does, it's definitely not a fight for the money, but for the flock of sheep. As for who my money's on, I don't really see this guy of this age being able to beat this guy of this age. And if you think the same, beat up that beautiful like button, and if you don't, still beat it up because that would make me love you even more.